Hello, thank you for joining us here today. I don't know if my other clip is going to upload as far as what my assignment is for this week, which is what does it mean to be a part of culture? And it was to interview an older person about their particular culture. So I picked the person whom is my hero and my mentor and has been my entire life with the exception of my teenage years, and which is my mom. And so I'm going to start off with the first question, which is, Mom, what does culture mean to you?
Well, culture means to me society, family, and the good and refined part of society.
Okay. And number 2, how does your idea or meaning of culture impact your beliefs, values, and spirituality?
You know, it impacts everything that I do and think about and things that I choose to believe. I mean, it impacts everything.
Okay. Number 3, how do you view your family structure, and choose your words carefully?
My family is the most important thing to me, other than my love for the Savior. I think ideally fathers and mothers leading the way for their children is the most important thing you can do.
Okay. Number 4, how does your family structure relate to culture?
Well, I think teaching your children good ideals, to be good citizens, charitable and caring, makes a good society and culture.
Which is why you're my hero. Okay. Number 5, how does your family structure different now as compared to when you were growing up?
Well, when I was young, things were very different. My mother and father were divorced when I was a baby, and my brother and I were separated, and so I just lived with my mother. I had 2 stepfathers, but my mother was the only one that I was close to. I was also, excuse me.
Oh.
Oh, darn. Now I try to keep my family close and do as many things together as we can, even though we live in different cities.
States.
And states. We still try to get together and as often as we can.
We drive each other crazy once in a while,
Yes,
but
we do, but it's fun.
But compared to how you grew up, you probably didn't have the same structure that you have instilled in your family today.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. It was totally different.
Yeah. All right, number 6. What did you learn from the difference of your family structure growing up to how it is instilled? Oh, which we just said. It's totally different now because, first of all, you didn't have the same family structure. You didn't have the same, your parents were divorced when you were very little. Can you talk a little bit more about what some of the things that happened when you were little, or as far as after your parents divorced, and what made you basically... Sometimes people can go either way. They will either have a family that's the same, that's distant from each other, or they will have a family that is close to each other. How did you choose to go the path of being close to each other?
After I left my mother's family when I was about 13 years old and moved to Utah with my father's family, which I had never lived with my father. And I think living there in Utah, of course, I became an LDS Latter-day Saint, and that is what has really grounded me, I think, with my family, because the family is the most important thing in the church, and I think that was really good for me. I guess that's...
No, that's beautiful. No, that's right. And you said, okay, past or present, who or whom has been your hero or mentor to you, and why?
Oh, Well,
Me? Oh wait, that's present.
my mother-in-law was an angel, and she was my hero. I was 16 when I got married, and I didn't know a thing. And she really, through the years, was so patient with me. And by her example, you know, she taught me how to cook. She was a wonderful cook. She was a wonderful
Yes, she was.
And she was just a wonderful person, and I wanted to be like her. She was, everything she did was perfect, I thought. She even dressed perfect. So,
Oh, to the T.
yeah. So that's my hero.
Okay.
Always will be.
And mine too, as you are. All right, number 8. How has race, ethnicity impacted you in your life in regards to how you perceive other races and challenges?
Well, I'm very fortunate that way, because when I was just about 8 years old, I went to a school where I was the only white child in the room that I was in. And so...
And where did you go to school?
Oh, it was like... it was in Los Angeles.
Okay.
I think it may have been Fremont School. I don't know. But anyway, I felt, you know, like I understood and could feel how other people felt when they are around a lot of people that are not like them.
Right.
I had no problem with that. And I'm really glad for that experience, because I love people of all races.
You've never been prejudiced against anybody?
No, because I think it's because of that experience.
That's awesome. All right, number 9. In your lifetime, what have you experienced with being a female versus male? And that's a 2-part question. What changes have you observed over the years? So start with the first one. In your lifetime, what have you experienced with being female versus male?
You know, a lot of people have had trouble being a woman. I think the only thing that I noticed is when I was younger, and wages were different. Everybody kind of knows that. But as far as I never had any problems in the workforce. I worked a lot of my life, but I was very fortunate to have good bosses, and things have come a long way now. Women have got a lot more rights, and I just feel very fortunate, though, that I never had any problems.
That's awesome. Yeah, because, you know, especially, you know, you hear of the oppression of women and over men through the years, but...
Yeah, I've been very fortunate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 10, how has your life experiences and culture helped you in occupations, whether it be work or volunteering, which you just kind of covered a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can see that things are better for women now, especially in obtaining a job. My son-in-law says that they hire a lot of women where he works, and he said also that a lot of those women make more money than men. So you know, it's come a long ways.
Yeah. Okay. And what about volunteering? I mean, that's kind of plays a big role in your life, because I know you've done a lot of volunteer work and put a lot of effort into that. Is it probably the culture of your religion and beliefs that make you feel your dedication to volunteering?
I've never really thought about that before. Maybe it is.
Or maybe it's just your gentle, loving personality?
Oh, it must be that. No, I've never really thought about it, but of course, I think probably my religion has a part to play in that. Because we do a lot of volunteering in a lot of different ways. But, you know, you always feel good when you volunteer and help
You feel,
somebody.
absolutely. Okay. Number 11, what are some significant learning experiences you have encountered throughout your lifetime?
Well, I would say divorce, moving, and a new job have all been a real learning experience for me. You need to be real careful under those circumstances that you don't become overwhelmed, and just take it a day at a time. That's what I've learned.
Absolutely. All right, number 12. Have you observed a difference in culture based on what you have lived?
Well, when I lived in California, you know, I went to a predominantly black school. I said that before, and we lived in a predominantly black neighborhood. The first day of school, a black girl and I had a big fight, and she won.
She won.
She won.
You're a probably scrawny little girl. No,
well,
just kidding.
I was standing in line to ride the maypole, and,
oh.
and she butted in and shoved me, and I shoved her, and
it was on.
And I lost the fight. But that didn't really
deter you in your belief of...
because I know I had a cute little black boy for
a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Awesome. And how was it different between where you've lived in California to where you live now and throughout the country, everywhere you've lived?
Well, it was very different when I moved to Utah because there were very few black people in Utah.
Yeah.
And when I went to school, I went to junior high and high school, and when I was there were no black people. And there was, oh, your light just went out.
Okay, it's okay.
Oh, okay. There was one Japanese family, and there was a few Italians, but it was, you know, and even people in the town that I lived, some of them were afraid of blacks because they'd never been around them.
Yeah.
They'd only heard things, you know. So I feel very grateful that I had the experiences that I did because I have some
awesome, wonderful, absolutely, and any race or whatsoever, they, you know, there's no, you're human in your flesh and you love, and that's why I love you. Okay, last question. Last but not least, and thank you, Mommy, for helping me out with this. When you put all these things together, when you talk about beliefs, values, spirituality, family structure, mentors, race, gender, location, how have all of these things been important to your personal identity?
Well, I think I've learned that generally most people want the same things. They want a family, they want love in their home, and friends, food,
roof over their heads.
And basically, I have found that most people are good and kind, and I'm grateful for that knowledge.
And everybody deserves that in the beginning. You know, everybody deserves a chance. Everybody deserves a... and that's what I think one of the biggest things I've learned from you is you can't judge the book from its color. As far as what somebody says to you or does to you, you've always taught me to be patient. You've always taught me to love everybody, and that's why I feel like you're my mentor. All right, thank you, Mom. I wish I could have somebody record this so I could go over and give her a big hug and kiss right now. All right, thank you all. Bye.